Lesson 121. So far, you only know one way to use the ablative case, and that is as the object of a preposition. We know that prepositions like cum and ab and other similar prepositions need to have their object of the preposition in the ablative case. Some prepositions have their object in the accusative case, and others have their object in the ablative case. So far, you only know one way to use the ablative case, but in this lesson we're going to learn a new way to use the ablative case, and that is called the ablative of means. In the last lesson, we took a break from Latin to study means or instrument, and now we're going to learn how to say those same kinds of things in Latin. Now keep in mind that in English, whenever we showed what the means or instrument was, we used some kind of preposition like with, by, or by means of. But in Latin, you don't need any of those kinds of prepositions. All you have to do is take the noun that you're doing the task with and put it in the ablative case. You don't need a preposition of any kind. So let's look at a couple of examples and see how this is done in Latin. Our first example is vir gladio causam servat. So in this sentence, servat is the verb. That means he, she, or it guards. But we don't need the he, she, or it because vir is the subject. Causam is the direct object. So if we translated the whole sentence except for the word gladio, here's what we would have. We would have the man is guarding the house. Now there's only one word left, and that is the word gladio. Gladio is the ablative singular form of the word gladius, which means sword. And the reason that gladio is in the ablative singular is because it's the ablative of means. It's going to show us the means or instrument by which the task was accomplished. So the task that's taking place here is the man is guarding the house, and gladio shows us what he did that with. So the way we'll translate gladio is with a sword, by means of a sword, by sword. Any of those ways are acceptable, as long as your translation shows that that's what the man guarded the house with. So my translation here over to the right says, the man is guarding the house with a sword. It would be just as correct grammatically if I said the man is guarding the house by means of sword or by sword, but it just wouldn't sound quite as smooth. So to my ears, the best translation was with a sword. So that's what I chose. So vir gladio causam servat is the man is guarding the house with a sword. We have another example, and that's nautai scapha ad insulam navigant. In this example, navigant is the verb. That means they sail or they are sailing. We don't need the word they because nautai is the subject, and ad insulam is a prepositional phrase. So if we translated the whole sentence, leaving out the word scapha, here's what we would have. The sailors are sailing to the island. Now there's only one word left, and that is scapha. That's the ablative singular form of the first declension word scapha, which means boat. And the reason that scapha is in the ablative singular is because it's an ablative of means. It's going to show us the means or instrument by which the task was accomplished. So the task here is that the sailors are sailing somewhere. How did they do it? Well, they did it with a boat. And that's what is communicated by the word scapha. Scapha is an ablative of means, and we could translate it several ways. We could say by means of boat, with a boat, or by boat, and they would all be grammatically correct. In my translation, I chose by boat just because I thought it sounded best. So in my translation over to the right, we have the sailors are sailing to the island by boat. So I think that by now you understand the ablative of means. Before I bring this lesson to a close, I just want to reiterate one more time that when you have the ablative of means, you do not need to use a preposition. The ablative of means shows the means by which a task was accomplished without any type of preposition like that. So in our next lesson, we'll have some sentences that have the ablative of means, and you'll have to recognize those.